Hey guys, welcome back to Fasterproms YouTube channel. Before we get into the LAZ portion of the video, we just completed our first Fasterproms tuning school, which has been a huge success. We have 2 more by the end of the year. That is December 9th and 10th, and also the 14th and the 15th. If you guys ever wanted to learn HB tuners, this is a beginner and intermediate class, and what we're going to do is teach you guys all sorts of stuff on how to use the scanner, the tuner, and be able to take on all sorts of different combinations and such. Doing tuning for 23 years, and there is a lot to learn. If you guys would like to get a little bit more information about the tuning school, we have some posts on our Instagram, as well as a couple videos earlier, specifically diving into certain sections of what we're going to be doing there. A little bit after the end of the year, the price of the class is going to go up a couple $100, as well as we're going to have different classes for a little bit further advanced and break up the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Let's get on with the video. All right, I'll leave you for one day and look at what you get done here.
Day and a half. All got early night before.
Incredible amount of progress in a short amount of time. Looks pretty cool.
The lower control arm's in. The upper one, I'm still concerned about bracketry positions on it, so I'm gonna get some help on that. Had a buddy, Matt Hodges, come in from, he's actually from Redneck Ram. He's the one, his company Redneck Ram, they're out of Texas, and he also owns West Texas Off-Road. And he was helping me do some of the setup on it, like a Postal Jeep right-hand drive steering box.
It's weird.
So typically the steering box is inside the frame rail. We wanted more room in there, so we moved it outside the frame rail.
All right, so thus begins your jigsaw of trying to get everything to fit.
Getting everything to fit.
Too much, yeah, 20 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. You know, it's just, there's a lot.
Well, we had the short block and trans, and we had a loose trans mount in the back, loose motor mounts in the front. No real guidance to positioning. We put on the transfer case just to make sure we had clearance on that rear crossmember behind it, and to flare it felt good. Got everything dropped down. Looks like room's good on the firewall. Put the heads on, the blower on. We got all kinds of room behind the motor. So now it's like the motor's really close to the fan, so it might move it back a little bit. Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, a little earlier when you had that down, we were kind of looking at the radiator, and basically pretty much we don't have the area that you want to go, you know, for the induction. So we got to be able to either do the curve from the throttle body or remote mount the throttle body. And
like on Uncle Sam.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what we have over there on Uncle Sam is really what might need to happen. All right, so this is kind of what we're at there. And when you look at it like that, it certainly looks like it would really benefit it to move the engine back a little bit. Now, what problems does that present, though?
Nothing.
Nothing really right now?
It's just cutting the tack welds.
Gotcha.
But that's why fitting everything, tack weld everything. We still got a cycle suspension. I've got trimming here to do because this tire is going to get into this. We do need the limiters, the bump stops. They're going to be in early next week, hopefully. We can start cycling stuff when we have those.
When you had the header on there, it looked really impressive. The header was nice.
Yeah.
Is that side on over there?
No, I can't use those headers.
Oh, dang it.
So it looks really nice until the collector goes right towards the front drive shaft on the transfer case.
Ah, another one of them old fitment deals there.
There's some companies that make some for the LS swap JKs I'm gonna look into. See how fast I can get it. Can't put manifolds on.
Yeah, definitely not.
Too much motor for
Need all the torque.
The Barnes 4-wheel drive brackets are all working out great. Parts from Denton on the motor mounts. We put our ICT AC compressor. The AC compressor will actually be on Monday. That's tucked up nice on the motor. That's one of the parts I'm fighting, is how much upwards travel I can get on this bracket before I get into the AC compressor, because it's Florida, we gotta have AC.
Gotta have AC. That stance is sick.
Yeah, get it back over here.
No, that definitely looks great right there. Gotta hand it to you, Laz. It looks really good.
Trying to make it all come together.
Yeah, it had been on the back burner for a little while, but definitely knocking some stuff out really fast, and when we can get to it.
There. I had to move around.
Yeah, yeah.
We wanted to try to fit up the inner rear tubs and modify what's got to be modified to work with the Genrite cage and make the moto build stuff work. This started out as a straight piece. Been slowly trimming away. I'll get that in place so you can see what it looks like. Now we have tire clearance, right? Shock clearance, some kind of clearance. Oh, move that flashlight. So that's just really rough cut, obviously. Now I can start actually looking, seeing both sides at the same time. Keep on the progress. You can see how much more of the floorboard that we're actually going to be getting rid of. All right, so now you can see we have the inner fender coming in here, going in about a good handle at my wrist back. And on the bottom side, we're to the front side of my hand, and then by the time you add the frame thickness, we're already a hand deep. Unknown to me, I'm cutting into this structure, which I didn't know about. But if we reinforce it, that shouldn't be a problem, because our shock tower mounts are going to go up on this top side. Next cut's going to be down here, along this line, and back out, and then we'll go from there. Barnes four-wheel drive looks good right there. Hey guys, it's Saturday. I came in, do a little bit of work on the Jeep. I needed some quiet time, trying to figure out Fusion 360. I don't know if I'm just not that smart or what. It's hard. So I figured I'd come out and try and do a little bit of stuff to the Jeep. I went ahead and pulled off the passenger side Motobilt back half. Need to fire up the HTP MTS 210. I came in, or I was here last night and I was practicing a little bit, and I want to, kind of emulate what they have on some of their factory welds. I'm, still learning this thing. Got a whole bunch of, practice welds here. Go back over all that. And then I want to talk to some people and see what you guys think about doing, a fish plate between here and here to give this some added support. It does have the factory one, but I'd hate to have to yank on somebody on a rear D-ring, which is on the back bumper D-rings, mount to the frame right there, that is mounted to these body mounts on this cross member, but then the axles are mounted to the frame up there, so I don't want one little, butt weld holding it all together. Finally, what we wanted to look like. That looks pretty good. Man, I had to crank this thing up. At least it's hot for me, hot for my hands. More and more practice, hopefully. So time we get further in, putting the links on, I'll get this welding dialed in. They need to be the strongest points, and hopefully they are. Body mount, I can learn on that. Really hope that thing's in the right place. I want to cut into something. I've been told kind of watch out. You're going to cut into a bit more than you want to. And that would be this area. You can see here we have triple walls, inner tub. This is the floor pan itself right here. We want to get rid of all this. This floor pan, we're good up to here, and then it steps back and goes into the Motobilt, which is right here is where it steps back, and that's behind this. So I'm gonna have another hole in my tub, but I'm not gonna have anything to cover it with. So I'm gonna dig into it. There's a lot of junk in there. We have the outer skin, we have the inner tub wall, then we have where it wraps up to the rocker panel into the floor pan. And then this is actually going through where the inner fender is. I think I want to skin this out now to maybe just the top of the floor. Kind of hard to figure out what tool to use to cut certain spots sometimes, especially when you're not used to doing this. Big tire clearance. was thinking about doing some trim, and that's kind of more what I was thinking. And we want to get that tire able to tuck up in here and still go up a little bit. And I really want the frame and this outer body flange to be the limitation. All right, it's been one of those days, but I like the way everything's going, and this is kind of more of what I had in mind when I say open up the wheel wells. We'll bring our frame tie-in down from our cage up there, down here. We could tie in here, or bring it in and dog leg it and go to the frame top there. Clean up in aisle 4. About ride height and full lock, which I'm not planning on running full lock. I still want to get rid of 1.5 inches here, and we are pretty close. I'll just have to run the bumps pretty tight. It's a lot of angle. AZ Auto Wheel, and I believe that's AZ Auto Wheel US. They are out of the Ukraine. A little like thumb grab, flat bottom, definitely tying the build together. It's going to update the dash a lot. A little bit newer, a little bit nicer. I think that radio is going to have to go too. Any way you can think of, they can do carbon fiber top centerpiece, bottom center carbon, flat bottom like this one has. You can dream it, they can do it. They do some crazy stuff. They have a chop carbon that's awesome looking. They do have something else that I've never seen before in person, but it's a digital center section to the steering wheel with shift lights, which is pretty crazy. I got a load cell type apparatus here. It's gonna go on the torch so we can get rid of the pedal, and I can see if I can learn how to do it off a button and not a pedal, so I can get around a cage and be inside a car, because I'm kind of big to be running everything at once. Tick control sends a switch, the lead that goes onto the tick lead itself. This is just going to get velcroed onto here. We have the plug for the machine. It all goes through this controller. The more pressure that you put on this load cell, the more amperage you're going to get on the welder. So it's going to be pretty cool to try. I'm definitely excited to try it out and see what it does. So Wade was here. He's a friend of ours, actually the guy I got the forklift from. He threw this together, put the button on here, and he wanted to get some trial passes on it. I found out he's a little bit of a better welder than I am. You can ramp up the amperage as you need to, come, you know, off of it a little bit, back on. No rolling the dial back and forth, no foot pedal to worry about. I actually caught myself when I was playing on the table looking for the foot pedal for positioning on it, and it wasn't there. He said he did the same thing. HTPs in combination with this, and this thing is a game changer. It's really awesome. Big shout out to Tick Controls. I don't know if you can see that. He said we're gonna love it. He wasn't lying. This thing's a beast. It's like a motorcycle. You got your throttle and your steering in one hand, which is, I don't know, kind of neat. It's really easy to control your temperature. It's easier for me using this than the pedal, and that's probably because I'm still learning, and it's a different method. Got some motor mounts that I'm prepping to go in. I had them tacked together by Adam at Denton Racing, and I just needed to finish weld them out. I did start tagging them, and then I was looking at the material thickness at 250 wall. My torch was rated a little bit low for that, so I went ahead and went to the dual shielded wire and ran them all in that. It's gonna be the strongest thing. Got HTP on the game. Definitely doing its thing and making it look good.
So in addition to our tuning school, we can also mail order tune like e-tunes for you guys, whether it is through HB Tuners or Holly. We can definitely get that done for you guys. Little word of wisdom that I wanted to share with you guys, something that oftentimes got to remind myself, is that comparison kills contentment, and contentment kills comparison. Thank you guys very much for watching. God bless you. We'll see you next episode. Just taking a sweet old time. Bobo.